When the coronavirus pandemic has hit almost every corner of the globe, some of the world's richest are joining the global initiative to fight the spread of COVID-19 and do what they can for the economy. As a future billionaire, you might be wondering what exactly these billionaires did to help during the pandemic. We'll just sit back and relax and watch this video till the end, because you'll surely be inspired with how generous these billionaires are as they lend a hand during the pandemic.
But before we begin, make sure to hit the like button and join the Future Billionaires Club by subscribing to our channel and ringing the notification bell to stay up to date with our classy uploads.
So without further ado, let's uncover what billionaires did to help during the pandemic. Roman Abramovich. It is imperative that medical frontliners quarantine after being exposed so close to the threat of this pandemic. But not everyone can afford to rent a place for a few weeks or more to hide out and keep their family unexposed. Luckily, Chelsea's owner will pay for NHS workers to stay at the Stamford Bridge Millennium Hotel, which is just around the corner of Westminster Hospital. Bill Ackman. The founder of Pershing Square made a $100 fold return on a coronavirus hedge of $2.6 billion. The fund's base, known for its impact acquisition, is to finance a firm called COVAX, which is creating coronavirus antibody kits. Gautam Adani. Ports Tycoon Corporation has given $15.4 million in aid to COVID-19, much of which would go to the Indian Prime Minister's emergency fund. The Adani community also provides the needy with ventilators, masks, and free meals. Sheldon Adelson. The casino magnate briefly suspended the properties of Las Vegas Sands Corporation on the Strip, the Venetian, and the Palazzo on March 17. In a tweet, the company clarified that there would be no cuts or furloughs and that workers would be paid during the temporary closure. On March 31st, Las Vegas Sands Corporation revealed that it had completed its $250,000 commitment to support hunger relief services in Nevada and that it would donate 2 million masks and 20,000 safe suits to health workers, emergency responders, and non-profit groups. The masks will be shared between New York and Nevada. The company has also supported Nevada healthcare workers and the police with gloves and test sets, as well as food and bottled water to local agencies. Micky Arison. The Nigerian billionaire has recently contributed almost $3.9 million or 1.5 billion Nigerian naira to the federal government and the state government of Lagos for COVID-19 activities. Anil Agarwal. The Vedanta Group of metals and mining magnates has pledged $26.5 million to tackle the spread of COVID-19, half of which goes to the Indian Prime Minister's campaign. The Vedanta organization has donated 100,000 masks as of early April, with plans to donate 200,000 more. Massimiliana Landini Aleotti. Landini Aleotti and her 3 children own Menarini, one of the biggest pharmaceutical firms in Italy. On the 19th of March, the company announced that it would upgrade the manufacturing line at its factories in Florence to produce disinfectant gel, which would be provided free of charge to the Italian Civil Defense Agency. Mukesh Ambani. Ambani's oil and gas giant Reliance Industries donated $67 million or 500 crore to the Indian Prime Minister's emergency fund. The company's charitable foundation has also set up India's first 100-bed COVID-19 center at Seven Hills Hospital in Mumbai. Reliance also manufactures 100,000 masks a day and delivers free meals in several cities. He also donated $660,000 to the relief fund of the Chief Minister in Maharashtra, the home state of Ambani. The $660,000 to a similar fund in the state of Gujarat, where Reliance's largest refinery complex is located. Micky Arison. The Miami Heat, owned by Arison, and the American Airlines Arena are providing disaster relief assistance to team and arena part-time personnel, as well as to their concessions and housekeeping partners. Arison has contributed $1 million to a campaign to support staff and other community members. On March 19, President Trump said at a press conference that Arison, chairman of Carnival Corporation and a close associate of Trump, had promised to take select cruise ships available for conversion to floating hospitals. Carnival did not cancel cruises until mid-March, despite several passengers getting coronavirus on the Diamond Princess and Grand Princess cruise ships. Giorgio Armani. The fashion designer Armani Group was one of the first businesses to take steps to stop the spread of the disease and planned to stage its Milan Fashion Week presentation on 23rd of February behind closed doors. On the 26th of March, the Armani Group turned all production in its Italian factories into single-use medical overalls. Armani has contributed nearly $2.2 million, or about 2 million euros, to hospitals in Milan, Rome, Bergamo, Piacenza, and Versilia, and to the Italian Civil Protection Agency. Bernard Arnold. Luxury products tycoon turns 3 LVMH perfume plants into hand sanitizer factories instead. It will be delivered free of charge to the French government and the main healthcare system in Europe. LVMH has agreed to provide at least 40 million masks to France, paying about $5.4 million, or about 5 million euros, for the first week of distribution. John Arnold. The prominent energy trader and his wife's foundation have pledged more than $10 million to finance the domestic solution to COVID-19, including $2 million to FAST grants, an expedited funding program for scientists battling COVID-19. Several other billionaires such as John and Patrick Collison also fund FAST grants. Arnold Ventures has contributed $3 million to the City Fund, which is also sponsored by Reed Hastings, to be spread across the 14 cities where the school policy project has successful grants. Steve Ballmer. The ex-Microsoft CEO Philanthropy Foundation has committed more than $25 million, including $1 million, to charitable groups in Los Angeles, including the County School District, and $10 million to the University of Washington Medicine Emergency Response Fund. Ballmer has contributed $3 million to the Seattle Foundation's COVID-19 Fund, which will include one-time funding grants to neighborhood groups dealing with disadvantaged communities, including people lacking healthcare or sick days. In collaboration with the Lakers, Kings, and Staples Center, the Clippers, owned by Ballmer, will compensate hundreds of staff of the Staples Center for the rest of the regular NBA and NHL seasons. Giuliana, Luciano, and Sabrina Benetton. The investment arm of the Benetton family, Edizione SRL, contributed around $3.2 million, or about 3 million euros, to hospitals in Milan, Rome, and the northeastern Italian city of Treviso. Marc Benioff. On the 15th of March, Salesforce's founder tweeted that Salesforce and Time magazine, which he owns, will continue to pay seasonal staff despite the closure of both offices. On March the 22nd, Benioff announced that Salesforce has donated 9,000 masks to the University of California, San Francisco, adding that the organization will work to produce another 5 million masks and additional PPEs or personal protective equipment. Benioff led a $25 million private sector effort involving Alibaba, FedEx, Uber, and Walmart to purchase more than 50 million pieces of PPEs. Silvio Berlusconi. The three-time Italian Prime Minister and current member of the European Parliament has donated $11 million or 10 million euros to the Lombardy area for the new hospital to be constructed at the former Fiera Milano Exhibition Center in Milan. Patrizio Bertelli, Miuccia Prada. On March the 19th, the fashion co-CEOs of Titan Prada revealed that they had donated 2 intensive care and resuscitation units, each to Vittorio Buzzi, Sacco, and San Raffaele hospitals in Milan. Jeff Bezos. The wealthiest person in the world revealed that on April the 2nd, he would donate $100 million to Feeding America, a nationwide non-profit network of food banks and food pantries. Amazon has spent $20 million in the AWS Diagnostic Development Initiative to bring the COVID-19 test to the market quicker. Amazon has donated $1 million to the Emergency Fund COVID-19 in Washington, D.C., the city which set up a $5 million small business recovery fund and pledged $1 million to the new Seattle Foundation to support people impacted by COVID-19. Aneel Bhusri. The CEO of Workday donated to the Bay Area Food Bank project headed by Sheryl Sandberg and gave $1 million to the San Francisco Give to SF Fund. Stephen Bisciotti. The Baltimore Ravens and its owners' foundation collectively contributed $1 million fund to 4 nonprofit agencies in the Baltimore area, including the Maryland Food Bank. Leon Black. The private equity billionaire donated $20 million, including an additional $10 million and proposals for $10 million in matching funds to support the New York City Healthcare Heroes Program. The program, funded by the Mayor's Foundation, Robin Hood, and the American Red Cross, distributed from 300,000 to 500,000 shipments of healthy food, cleaning and personal care items, and over-the-counter medication to hospital workers throughout June. Arthur Blank, the owner of the Atlanta Falcons NFL team and the Atlanta United MLS team, compensated hourly workers at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The Blank Foundation is also contributing about $5.4 million to COVID-19 in Atlanta and Montana. Len Blavatnik, Access Industries chairman, has contributed $2 million to Mount Sinai Health System in New York City to buy ventilators. As of April 8, the Blavatnik Family Foundation supported $6.2 million, including contributions to the UK National Health Service and the Jewish communities in New York and London. These are just some of the billionaires that supported and generously helped during the pandemic. If we put them all in here, the list could go on and on. So, did any of these billionaires inspire you? Let us know by leaving a comment below. And because you're still here, we got some bonus info for you guys. According to Forbes, during the pandemic, there are more than hundreds of billionaires who share their fortunes to hospitals, funds, staffs, and other COVID-19 related organizations to help ease the burden during the outbreak. From January through May, 10.9% of the global population of 2,825 billionaires made confirmed monetary donations to COVID-19 pandemic-related causes, according to a report published Tuesday by WealthX, a market research firm covering the world's wealthiest people.
Thanks for watching, Future Billionaire. Enjoyed what you saw? Deposit a like, and be sure to join the Future Billionaires Club by hitting subscribe and ringing the notification bell to keep up to date with our entertaining uploads. And check out these other amazing videos we've selected for you next.